Hi, welcome back to the Style Journey. Thank you so much for being here. Today's video is going to be all about ties. But before we get into that, I'm going to share a little bit about what I'm wearing. In the last video, I covered that a suit jacket's shoulders should be a little bit extended beyond the actual shoulder bone or the edge of the shoulder. Today I'm wearing a suit jacket separate than a pair of pants, and the jacket is done up in the same way. So the shoulder is a little bit extended past my shoulder, and it's done in a green, olive green, moleskin cotton fabric. So a nice, thick, soft, almost like velvet to the touch fabric. That's green cotton moleskin. So this makes it a little bit more of a casual fabric that, although it's from a suit, it can be broken up like I'm wearing today with separate trousers. Also, something that makes it more casual than the last jacket I was wearing from my suit is that there's no shoulder pad in this jacket, where the last one had a shoulder pad. This also helps break it up and make it just look a little bit more casual in those times where you want to have a casual jacket to wear. Down to my trousers, I'm wearing nice full cut tweed trousers with a beautiful pattern running through them, the brown base to the trousers. I have some black shoes on my feet. Yes, in this case you can wear black shoes with brown pants. They go very well together. I'm wearing a pocket square, and most importantly today, I'm wearing a tie. Now this tie is a rep stripe tie in navy blue and gold. The stripes run from what they would say is the heart to the sword, or in other words, from my top left to my bottom right. That means it's a British style tie. If the stripes were to run the opposite direction, you would note it as an American rep stripe tie. So that's what I'm wearing today. And you'll see next to me, I have an assortment of ties here on the table that are going to help me break down this subject. Now, in my first video, I was wearing a suit, and I was wearing this particular tie. I was wearing a spring business suit in the last video, and I chose this tie because it has a silk fabric to it, which is very good for business suits. You want to start with silk, generally speaking, for suits, especially business suits. You want to use that fabric. And then a note about when you're going to wear a suit, because the jacket matches the trousers, overall, you can say it's a very uniform look in that it's all matching and harmonizing together in the same color or pattern, or if it's a solid, it just all goes together uniformly. In the same way, you want to choose a uniform tie to wear with your suit. So this could be a solid tie because everything running through it is going to be one color. Goes very, very well with the suit. Or if you're going to choose a pattern tie like this, where it has these stars or diamonds running through it, for example, the pattern should be very tight and uniform. In other words, there should not be a lot of space between each of the objects running through the tie in the pattern or the motif. So I chose this tie to wear with my suit. As I mentioned, you could have chose, or I could have chose a solid tie to go with the suit as well, very uniform. And since both these ties are black, I want to make a note of something. Whenever you're wearing a black tie or a tie with a black base, this should influence the color of the shoes that you're wearing in the following way. You should choose black shoes, okay? So the black goes with the black. Alternatively, if you were to choose a tie with a brown tie or a tie with a brown base, such as this one, again with a nice, fairly tight repeated pattern that would go well with a suit, silk-like tie. If it has a brown base, then you're not going to want to wear black shoes. You're going to want to wear brown shoes to match the brown base. So in those two examples, your tie actually influences what color you should choose for your shoes. Now, if it's a different colored tie, such as what I'm wearing, where it's navy and gold or different, I'll choose two other colors or multiple colors that don't include black or brown, then your tie choice is not going to affect what you choose to wear on your feet, on your shoes. I have another example of a nice tight repeated pattern that could go well with a suit in this tie. So getting back to the ties on the table, the ones we've covered so far on my right are suit ties, or ties that look best with a suit. And then I have some other ties that look great with what we call separates. So where you're wearing a suit jacket or a sport coat, that is a separate look or a separate fabric, different fabric than the pants or the trousers that you're wearing, such as what I have on today. I picked this one up because it has the alternate stripes running from bottom left to top right. So this is an American wrap tie that would go very well with separates. So because when you're wearing separates, you're wearing something separate on the top than the bottom, you've split out your look. You want to be able to wear ties that have split out their pattern if you're going to wear a pattern with a tie. So they should have more space between the motif or the objects on the pattern, such as with this club tie. So this is a very traditional tie that looks great with separates. You could wear a blue blazer with this and some gray slacks, and it would go really, really well. And part of the reason why it goes so well is because the pattern has about an inch of distance from each insignia to the next. One last consideration I want to make and note here is that when you're wearing separates, and we'll go over separates in another video down the line, you want to wear a jacket and trousers that are different to, of course, why it's called separates, different patterns, but you're going to want to wear something that has a little bit of texture to it. Okay, so that leans itself to easily wearing a tie that has texture to it as well, to echo what you're wearing in your outfit. So such as wearing this tie, it could have gone very well with what I'm wearing today. This is 100% wool tie from Scotland with a nice tartan on it, a nice pattern. This would go really, really well with separates. Okay, so that's a bit of a rundown of different considerations you might have when choosing a tie. I hope that was helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.